The fire is the lesson. A man walks through life thinking that difficulty is a detour. He prays for the storm to pass, for the noise to calm, for the pressure to lift. But what if the storm isn't in the way? What if it is the way? There's a quiet power in realizing that life isn't trying to stop you. It's trying to teach you. Every interruption, every betrayal, every sleepless night is not just pain. It's a message. A direct invitation to rise. Stoicism isn't a set of cold ideas in ancient books. It's not about suppressing emotion or pretending to be indifferent. It's about transforming pain into strength. It's about choosing wisdom over impulse, clarity over chaos. This video isn't for passive watching. It's a field manual. A practical meditation for modern warriors who face mental warfare every day: stress, distraction, anxiety, pressure. You don't need escape. You need armor. And this is it. Each chapter you'll hear isn't theory, it's forged in fire. These lessons come from lives tested by war, exile, loss, and power. From men like Marcus Aurelius, who governed an empire while losing his children. Like Epictetus, born a slave who found unshakable freedom within. And Seneca, who turned death into a moment of clarity. So let's begin this journey not to escape reality, but to master it. This is a return to what matters. To what's real. This is not motivation. It's a reminder. A daily one. Let's step into the forge. The heat isn't punishment. It's where you become who you were meant to be. Lesson 1. The power of saying no. In a world that profits from your attention, learning to say no is survival. Not in defiance, but in defense of what truly matters. Marcus Aurelius once said, "If you seek tranquility, do less. Fewer distractions. Fewer obligations rooted in guilt. Every unnecessary yes steals energy from your mission." You weren't born to be agreeable. You were born to be aligned. Modern psychology calls this decision fatigue. Every choice drains willpower. Saying no isn't selfish, it's strategic. It clears space for focus, for depth, for discipline. Seneca warned, "If you don't know to which port you sail, no wind is favorable." Without a direction, every demand seems urgent. But real power is in protecting your time like it's sacred, because it is. Choose your yes with conviction. Let your no be calm, clear, and unapologetic. That's how you build a life driven by purpose, not pressure. Lesson 2. Ego versus wisdom. Ego craves recognition. Wisdom craves truth. The ego whispers, "They need to see your greatness." Wisdom replies, "Just be great even if no one sees." The Stoics warned against the illusion of self-importance. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "You are just a soul carrying a corpse. Strip away titles, applause, and image, and what remains is your character." The ego reacts. It's defensive, fragile, loud. Wisdom listens. It adapts. It doesn't need the last word. In every challenge you must choose: protect your pride or protect your peace. Let your actions speak so quietly they become undeniable. That is where real power lives. Lesson 3. From knowledge to action. Philosophy that stays in books dies in silence. Real wisdom moves. Seneca said, "It is not that we have a short time to live, but that we waste much of it." Reading without applying is like gathering tools but never building. Don't just admire Stoicism, use it. When the day goes wrong, when people disappoint you, when your plan collapses, these are the moments to act. Not to quote Marcus, but to live like him. True knowledge isn't memorized. It's practiced. Lesson 4. Personal standards versus popular trends. Everyone's watching the crowd. But the Stoic looks inward. Social media rewards noise. Popularity, trends, approval, they're fleeting. Marcus Aurelius warned, "It never ceases to amaze me. We all love ourselves more than other people, but care more about their opinion than our own." Live by a code that doesn't change with culture. Set internal standards rooted in discipline, not applause. Because what's praised today may be forgotten tomorrow. But your integrity is forever. Lesson 5. Memento mori. You will die. That's not a threat. That's freedom. The Stoics meditated on death to sharpen life. Epictetus urged, "Keep death before your eyes every day." Why? Because remembering the end helps you begin. Mortality kills excuses. It destroys procrastination. It awakens urgency. What will you do knowing time is bleeding out of your hands every second? You don't have forever. So live like it. Lesson 6. Live for yourself, not applause. There is no peace in living for applause. It's a performance that never ends. When you're driven by approval, your identity becomes a mask. You act not from values but from fear, fear of judgment, of exclusion, of silence. Stoicism teaches detachment from externals. Your worth doesn't rise or fall with someone's opinion. Your pride must come from within. Seneca said, "The man who follows the crowd will never be followed by it. Let yourself." Lesson 7. Act now. You don't need more time. You need to start. We postpone life like it's guaranteed. But delay is the enemy of greatness. Marcus Aurelius reminded himself, "You could leave life right now. Let that determine what you do and say and think." Action is clarity. Action is courage. Don't wait for the perfect moment. Make the moment perfect by acting. Discipline begins when excuses end. Lesson 8. Concentration and focus. A distracted mind cannot build a strong life. In ancient Rome, focus was a warrior's edge. Today, distraction is your battlefield. Notifications, noise, novelty, they fracture your attention. You become reactive, shallow, scattered. Train your focus like a muscle. Set time to go deep. Eliminate digital noise. Create rituals of stillness. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "Nowhere can man find a quieter or more untroubled retreat than in his own soul. Go there often." Lesson 9. Cherish loved ones. Familiarity breeds blindness. We forget how precious people are, until it's too late. The Stoics taught the fragility of life. Every conversation could be the last. Every goodbye might be final. That's not morbid, it's meaningful. Seneca wrote, "Let us love them as if they were going to die. Because one day they will. And so will we. So slow down. Look up. Say what matters. Don't wait for loss to teach you love." Lesson 10. Time management and distraction. You're not short on time. You're drowning in noise. People don't need more hours, they need more clarity. The Stoics knew this. That's why their lives were disciplined, deliberate, and quiet. Audit your attention. Where is it going? Who controls it? Cut what is meaningless. Guard what is sacred. Seneca warned, people are frugal in guarding their personal property, but as soon as it comes to squandering time, they are most wasteful. Don't trade your life for distractions. Lesson 11. Stay a student. Arrogance ends growth. Humility expands it. No matter how far you've come, you are still a student. Always. Marcus Aurelius, Emperor of Rome, wrote reminders to himself, not commands to others. The Stoic seeks truth, not titles. He studies daily. He asks questions. He evolves. The moment you think you've arrived is the moment you stop becoming. Stay curious. Stay humble. Stay learning. Lesson 12. Read to transform. Books aren't for entertainment. They're tools for becoming. The Stoics didn't read to escape. They read to embody, to reflect, to sharpen thought into action. Epictetus advised, don't explain your philosophy. Embody it. So read less but deeper. Return to the same text. Extract wisdom, not just information. Ask, how will I live this? Reading without change is just decoration. Let every page be a mirror. Let every idea become action. Lesson 13. Flow with time like a river. You don't control the current. You only control how you move within it. Marcus Aurelius compared life to a river, always flowing, always changing. Resisting time creates suffering, but moving with it builds strength. Acceptance isn't surrender, it's strategy. When things change, let them. When people leave, release them. Life flows forward, not back. Peace comes when you stop gripping the past and start swimming with the present. Lesson 14. Such is life. Not everything needs an explanation. Some things just are. The Stoics didn't waste energy asking why me? They asked what now? Life is unpredictable. People are imperfect. Injustice happens. Not because the universe is broken, but because that's the nature of reality. Acceptance isn't weakness. It's clarity. It frees you to act instead of agonize. When chaos hits, remind yourself, such is life. Now respond with virtue. Lesson 15. Expect imperfection. If you expect perfection, you invite disappointment. But if you expect reality, you build resilience. Epictetus said, when you kiss your child, say to yourself, tomorrow they may die. That's not pessimism. That's preparation. It means understanding that people will fail. Days will derail. Plans will crumble. Prepare your mind for friction and it won't break under pressure. Expect obstacles and meet them with calm. Disappointment fades when you stop demanding perfection. Lesson 16: Human nature and relationships. People are not problems, they're just human. Marcus Aurelius reminded himself daily, when you wake up, prepare to meet meddling, ungrateful, arrogant people. Not out of bitterness but to stay calm in their presence. Don't be surprised when others fall short. Expect it, and don't take it personally. Most harm comes from ignorance, not evil. Understanding human nature allows you to lead with patience, not punishment. Lesson 17: Empathy and shared humanity. Everyone you meet is fighting a silent battle. Respond accordingly. Even the angry driver, the rude colleague, the indifferent friend. Behind each reaction is a story you don't see, pain you don't know, doubts they won't admit. The Stoic cultivates empathy without being weak. He doesn't absorb every emotion, but he sees through it. He chooses compassion over contempt. Seneca said, "Wherever there is a human being, there is an opportunity for kindness. Take that opportunity often." Lesson 18: Resilience against attacks. People will project their pain onto you. Don't catch what they throw. Hurt people. But that doesn't mean you must carry their wounds. The Stoics taught, protect your peace. When insulted, they didn't react, they reflected. Epictetus said, if someone succeeds in provoking you, realize that your mind is complicit in the provocation. Stillness is your shield. Respond less. Endure more. Let attacks pass like wind through stone. Lesson 19: Avoid false friendships. Depth is rare. Guard it. Many friendships are built on convenience, not character. On flattery, not truth. The Stoics chose their circle with care. Seneca warned, associate with people who are likely to improve you. True friends challenge you. They call you to higher ground. They don't just entertain your ego, they strengthen your spirit. Cut ties with those who drain your values. Life's too short to walk with the wrong crowd. Lesson 20: Internal rewards over external validation. Live for the approval of your conscience, not the crowd. Applause fades. Praise shifts. But inner pride, the feeling of doing what's right when no one sees, that endures. Marcus Aurelius said, it is not the man who has too little, but the man who craves more that is poor. Don't trade peace for popularity. Let virtue be your reward. Let your satisfaction come from alignment, not attention. The real win is invisible. Lesson 21: Walk towards the divine. That there's a higher path, one that aligns you with truth. The Stoics believed in living according to nature, not in the trees or rivers, but in the divine reason that orders the universe. Logos, the inner compass, the quiet pull toward integrity. You feel it when you act with courage, when you resist temptation, when you choose meaning over comfort. To walk toward the divine is to walk with discipline, humility, and purpose. Not once, but every single day. Lesson 22: Realistic thinking. You don't need optimism. You need clarity. Stoicism isn't about positive thinking. It's about accurate thinking. Seeing things as they are, not worse, not better. Marcus Aurelius taught, you have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this and you will find strength. Accept the facts. Strip emotion from your judgments. Make decisions based on reality, not fantasy. See clearly. Act decisively. Lesson 23: Pragmatism. Theories don't change lives. Actions do. The Stoics weren't philosophers in ivory towers. They were generals, emperors, slaves. They lived in the dirt of reality. Their wisdom was tested in conflict, not classrooms. Don't wait to understand everything before moving. Test ideas. Adapt them. Make philosophy your toolkit, not your crutch. Live it, or leave it behind. Lesson 24: Self-discipline. Discipline is the highest form of love. Not the kind that punishes, but the kind that honors your future self. Epictetus said, no great thing is created suddenly. Every rep, every early morning, every sacrifice, that's how virtue is built. Motivation fades. But discipline, quiet, unshakable discipline, is what makes men free. Train it daily. Feed it with structure. Protect it with simplicity. Lesson 25: Stumbling is part of the path. You will fall. That doesn't mean you failed. Marcus Aurelius failed. Epictetus struggled. Seneca stumbled. Every Stoic you admire broke their own code. What made them strong wasn't perfection, it was recovery. When you fall, don't wallow. Reflect, adjust, return. Falling is human. Rising is Stoic. Lesson 26. Follow your inner compass. In a noisy world, your conscience is your guide. You know the path. You've always known. But fear, doubt, and distraction bury it. The Stoics believed we each have a spark of divine reason within, a compass. Listen to it. It speaks through discomfort. It warns through guilt. It guides through stillness. Your job is not to invent the truth. It's to obey it. Lesson 27. Zoom out, Plato's perspective. Look down from above. When problems feel overwhelming, it's often because you're standing too close. The Stoics used a technique, the view from above. Imagine yourself outside your body, outside your city, outside the earth. Suddenly your stress shrinks. Marcus Aurelius reminded himself how small a part of the infinite and unbounded time is assigned to each of us. Perspective isn't detachment, it's freedom. Lesson 28. Interconnectedness. Your life isn't just yours. Every action ripples. Every decision affects others. The Stoics believed we are part of a greater whole. Marcus said, "What injures the hive injures the bee." This means your integrity matters, not just for you but for everyone around you. Your patience, your honesty, your calm, they build culture. Live with that responsibility. Lesson 29. Philosophy is everywhere. Wisdom isn't limited to books. It's in the grocery line, in traffic, at work. The Stoics didn't wait for perfect moments to practice. Every moment was practice. Every irritation, every conflict, every delay, an invitation to live differently. Ask, what is this moment teaching me? Then act accordingly. Philosophy is for life, not lecture halls. Lesson 30. Transience and impermanence. Everything changes. Everything fades. The Stoics meditated on impermanence, not to become numb, but to become free. The beautiful will age. The strong will weaken. The successful will be forgotten. Marcus Aurelius said, "Soon you will have forgotten all things. Soon all things will have forgotten you." Let that truth humble you and liberate you. Lesson 31. Be like a rock. So, unshaken, rooted. Storms come. People lash out. Life throws chaos. The Stoic remains calm, not because nothing matters but because he is anchored. Epictetus said, "It's not things that upset us, but our judgment about them." Train your mind to pause before it reacts. Stay grounded. Be the rock others cling to when waves rise. Lesson 32. Strive for the ideal. You may never reach perfection. Strive anyway. Virtue is the horizon, always ahead. You won't get there, but every step toward it strengthens you. Marcus Aurelius wrote to himself daily, not because he was perfect, but because he was committed. Do the difficult thing. Resist the easy out. Live by a higher standard, not for others but for yourself. Excellence is in the pursuit. Lesson 33. Accountability. Blame is weakness. Ownership is power. Seneca said, "A gem cannot be polished without friction, nor a man perfected without trials." Life will press you. People will test you. But the Stoic doesn't complain. Something is wrong, fix it. If you made a mistake, own it. Every moment is a chance to reclaim your power. Your life is your responsibility. Lesson 34. Time is a river. You can't grasp it. You can only flow with it. Marcus Aurelius described time as a river. What has passed is gone. What is ahead is unknown. Only the present is yours. So stop clinging to the past. Stop fearing the future. Be here. Act now. There is no other time to live. Lesson 35. You are not a machine. You don't need to grind. You need to grow. Rest is not weakness. Joy is not distraction. The Stoic life isn't about robotic discipline. It's about alignment. Marcus worked hard, but he also reflected. He loved. He rested. So should you. Sustainable strength requires rhythm, not burnout. Lesson 36. Amor fati. Don't just accept life. Love it. Even the pain. Even the loss. Even the failure. Amor fati means love of fate. It's not passive. It's defiant. It says this too is for me. Marcus Aurelius didn't resist hardship. He used it. He folded suffering into strength. You can't control the story, but you can choose to love your part in it. Lesson 37, the obstacle is the way. Whatever stands in your way becomes the way. This is the core Stoic truth. Seneca said, difficulty strengthens the mind as labor does the body. Every challenge is an invitation, not to retreat, but to rise. When life blocks the door, build a new one. Don't wish it were easier. Become stronger. Your obstacle is your opportunity. Lesson 38, acceptance versus resignation. Acceptance is active. Resignation is defeat. The Stoic accepts reality, not to surrender, but to engage it more powerfully. He doesn't complain, but he also doesn't give up. Epictetus taught, accept what you cannot change. Then act with all your strength where you can. This is how you keep your soul intact, no matter what life brings. Lesson 39, pain is fuel. Don't numb it. Don't run from it. Use it. Pain sharpens focus. It strips away illusion. It reveals what matters. The Stoic uses pain as a signal. What must be addressed, healed, or changed? Seneca said, fire tests gold, suffering tests brave men. Let pain refine you, not define you. Turn wounds into wisdom. Lesson 40, rise to the occasion. You are the answer you've been waiting for. Stop waiting for permission, for timing, for the perfect moment. The Stoics didn't believe in fate as an excuse, but as a call to act. Marcus wrote, at dawn, when you have trouble getting out of bed, tell yourself, I am rising to do the work of a human being. So rise, and meet your life with full force. Lesson 41, return to rhythm. You will fall. What matters is that you return. Stoic practice is daily. That means failing, reflecting, and recommitting. Again and again. No drama. No despair. Marcus Aurelius didn't expect perfection. He expected effort. When you drift, don't spiral. Just return. Return to discipline, to reflection, to virtue. Lesson 42, freedom and neutrality. Not every battle is worth fighting. Most chaos isn't real. It's opinion, noise, ego. The Stoic learns to pause before reacting, to detach not as escape but as mastery. Marcus said, you always own the option of having no opinion. Silence can be strength. Neutrality can be freedom. Lesson 43, be a free agent. Roles aren't identity. Titles aren't essence. You are not your job. You are not your follower count. You are not your income. These are functions, not foundations. The Stoics reminded themselves daily, you are a soul with reason and choice. Nothing else is essential. Detach from labels. Define yourself by virtue, not vanity. That's where true freedom begins. Lesson 44, ego is the enemy. Pride is the armor that keeps you weak. The ego seeks status, control, and constant affirmation. But the Stoic path demands humility. Epictetus said, it is impossible for a man to learn what he thinks he already knows. Let go of needing to be right. Let go of the performance. Trade appearance for substance. You don't need to prove yourself. Just be yourself, disciplined, calm, and true. Lesson 45, nothing external lasts. What is built on externals will always crumble. Fame, looks, fortune, all of it fades. The Stoics built their peace on what couldn't be taken, virtue, discipline, integrity. Marcus Aurelius reminded himself, all is ephemeral, fame and the famous as well. So live for what endures. Let go of what rusts, rots, or burns. Lesson 46, moderation is key. Excess is weakness disguised as pleasure. The Stoics warned that indulgence enslaves. It dulls your edge. It corrupts your judgment. Seneca said, it is not the man who has too little, but the man who craves more that is poor. Moderation isn't denial. It's strength. It's command over desire. It's choosing enough over too much. Train your appetite, and you train your freedom. Lesson 47, philosophy is preparation. Don't wait for a crisis to build your character. The Stoics trained their minds like soldiers. Daily reflection, mental rehearsals, emotional discipline. So when disaster came, they didn't collapse. They responded. Epictetus taught his students to premeditate hardship. Not out of paranoia, but preparedness. Philosophy is armor. Put it on now before the war begins. Lesson 48. The 3 Stoic Disciplines. Perception. Action. Will. Marcus Aurelius practiced 3 disciplines daily. Perception. See things clearly. Action. Do the right thing. Will. Endure what you must. This triad forms the core of Stoic strength. It turns chaos into order, pain into purpose. It makes men unbreakable, not by force but by choice. Master these and you master yourself. Lesson 49. Success is in the small things. Greatness is built quietly, not in headlines, not in breakthroughs, but in small, consistent decisions. The Stoics knew this. They lived simply, thought deeply, acted consistently. A day of focus, a moment of patience, a word of truth. These build empires within. Forget the highlight reel. Win the unseen battles. Lesson 50. Philosophy is for everyone. This path isn't reserved for scholars. It's for you. You don't need a toga or a title. You don't need to quote Latin. You need courage. You need honesty. You need the will to live differently. Seneca, Epictetus, Marcus, they weren't writing for history books. They were writing for you, for your challenges, your doubts, your daily life. Philosophy belongs in the streets, the workplace, the family table. Let it walk with you. Let it shape how you rise, how you love, and how you endure. These are not rules. They are reminders. You weren't given this life to be a spectator. You were given it to engage, to struggle, to build, to rise. The Stoic path is not a checklist. It's not a set of cold, rigid laws. These 50 lessons are not rules. They are reminders. Markers to return to when the noise gets loud. Anchors when the world shakes. Fire when your spirit dims. Marcus Aurelius, Epictetus, Seneca, they weren't saints. They were soldiers of the soul. Men of flaws, of failures, of flesh. But they chose virtue. Not once. Every day. In small, quiet moments. So can you. Life will test you. That's not a threat. That's a promise. But it's also the opportunity. Because every moment of hardship is a moment of choice. Crumble or climb. React or reflect. Break or build. You now carry the tools. Say no with conviction. Defeat ego with truth. Trade knowledge for action. Live by inner standards. Remember death. Act now. Focus deeply. Love fiercely. Accept reality. Walk with the divine. Fall and rise again. Not because you want to be perfect, but because you want to be free. So here is the final reminder. You are not here to survive life. You are here to shape it. Choose intention over impulse. Choose stillness over noise. Choose strength over ease. Choose the path of virtue. Now go. Live it. And if these lessons spoke to something deep within you, don't just keep them. Share them. Speak them. Return to them. Let them forge you. Leave a comment. Tell your story. Tell us which lesson struck your soul. Subscribe not just to this channel, but to this discipline, to this way of living. And most of all, rise. Again and again. You are ready.